Good day, everyone. Ali Safi here from Safi Financial Network. Today is January 9, 2025. Here is another daily analysis. U.S. stock market was closed today, but a futures market were open. So we are going to cover in a short video future market, gold, crude, and also I just want to pay you attention on the chart of copper, which is very interesting. It's getting to the pivotal point. Everyone needs to take a look that one as well. Here is a S&P 500 4 hours chart, and we're kind of like a forming the bottoming formation. We don't see kind of like a spike to the upside or breaking through to the downside, but we are kind of like at the very important pivotal point at the short term. So we may see this rally is continuing to the upside. Tomorrow we will have NFP. So NFP is going to be very important. Everyone pays attention to that one. Why? Because that's going to be a job report for the Christmas time. So market will take it very seriously how the businesses actually were doing during Christmas time. Did they have a good time or bad time? But market based on the technical perspective, I should say S&P 500. I'm kind of like a leaning to the long position right now, at least for the short term. We may see some kind of like a move to 59.90 area, this supply area. We are stocking in this triangle formation here. This is a support. This is a higher low, and here's the higher low. So we may see some kind of like a bounce to the upside. Moving on to Nasdaq, which is the same scenario here. Nasdaq, just in future market, I didn't have that type of movement. We got a bull reversal in the 4 hours chart. Also, stochastic momentum, bull reversal in MACD is just forming kind of like a getting upside momentum. And that tells me if we combine those two with the price action, which is the most important one, we are seeing a series of higher lows. And right now, we just nailed it yesterday as well at shadows here. And we may see some kind of like ending diagonal here. If it breaks through to the upside, we may see some kind of like a bullish momentum to 21,400 to 21,500. So we will see if that happens. Moving on to Dow Jones. Dow Jones is the same, just forming in a small time frame, 4 hours chart, forming kind of like a triangle position as well, or pattern. And we are seeing the series of higher lows, a series of lower high as well. When we are stocking in this range, we are just bouncing around, just going up and down. But either breakout would be very aggressive move. I would say at this time being, we may see some kind of like a bounce to the upside to this area, 43,400 to 43,500. That's the area that I'm looking at for Dow Jones. Moving on to gold, which keep continuing its positive momentum. Obviously, it's just getting above this supply area and shifting the momentum to the upside, 2670. And metals actually are doing great. So when I see this and when I see copper as well, I'm going to just have a look on copper as well. When I see this, I would say metal is shifting a structure to the bull side. And we may see some kind of like a tackling again to 27.17, which is very, very important. If it goes below this trend line here, we may see a sharp decline to 2400 to 2500, which is my ideal scenario. I 100 times mentioned that if gold is getting there, I'm going to be buyer. But the second scenario is going to be we may see kind of like a momentum to 27.17, getting back and then breaking through, which is going to be another bullish momentum. Ultimately, if short term actually gold is getting down to this area, or if it breaking through to the upside, the ultimate target is going to be here. So it depends on your risk to reward scenario. If you want to invest, potentially you don't care if you get to the downside because you don't want to lose the momentum if you're bullish. But if you're kind of like on the short side, if you're think that gold still can go down, we may see some kind of like a movement to the downside. Moving on to silver. Silver is forming the momentum as well to the upside. We may see some kind of like sellers are coming here around $30 to $30. $30.80. That's going to be the resistance area as well. Moving on to crude. Crude is forming a nice bullish consolidation here. So that tells me we are kind of like at the beginning of the new rally to tackling at 77 area. So if we get to 77 area, if we break into, then any pullback would be a great buying opportunity for a next rally to 80, even 90 to 100 dollars. So we'll see how it goes. But I would say if we get above this 77, this bearish long-term bearish, actually, we should say intermediate bearish momentum is broken to the upside because this is coming since September 2023. And the crude is bottoming for another rally, potentially to 100, even above for that one based on the monthly and weekly chart. So we will see how it goes. So the chart that I want to talk about today is copper. And this is very interesting just because when copper is getting to the bull side, everyone is kind of like a bullish on the economy overall. All right, this is copper weekly chart. And as you see here, copper just breaking through nicely last week to the upside. And it just hit this trend line here, which touched a couple times, actually 2 times before on May and also October last year. We just touched and then getting back to the downside. But we just form a nice higher low rather than lower low. You see that? So here's the trend for copper weekly chart. And we just got into the moment of truth for copper. The good bullish bias, I should say, is we are forming a nice W pattern. You can see that in a daily chart. And we will cover that one. And nicely, we just got above this shadow. If we close tomorrow, which is going to be Friday, and that's going to be weekly close above this pivot, so somewhere around, let's say, 430 to 435, that would be a scenario for copper to get ready for breakout nicely. And if we break through to the upside, I would say the next target is going to be this pivot, and potentially new all-time high. Because previously, when copper formed this type of pattern and then consolidates, breaking through was leading into new all-time high. And this time could be the same scenario. And I would say that would be a fantastic timing and price action for copper in 2025 if we get to new all-time high. And if we get to new all-time high somewhere around summertime, which coming along with the stock market rally in summertime and hit the top, and that would be multi potentially years for copper stock market for the new all-time high. And then we were get back to the downside. So that's the scenario. So that's why I'm just focusing on copper, especially copper miners as well. They're just heading nicely. So here's the daily chart, and the daily chart forms a nice W pattern. We just shifted to the upside, and this W pattern just touched above this, and SMA 200 is just coming along with this trend line. If we get a breaking through, then we can get to 441 and then 460. That would be the scenario that I'm just looking at for copper. All right. So that's my analysis for today. And potentially next video, I'm going to come in with some stocks, individual names that are just forming a very nice bullish momentum. Potentially, we can get a nice bullish case or long position in 2025. All right, folks. Have a great evening. See you on the chart. Bye-bye.